All right, fellas, we're bringing back Banter Reviews, a segment we haven't done in yonks. It's been a while.
Absolute yonks.
We used to do it in a way that I honestly can't remember. There was a lot of fluff. There was a lot of, I'll honestly say, not the greatest comedy of all time, but out of 8. But we're revamping the whole system. This is how we're going to do Banter Reviews from now on. We are going to review 2 things. Can be anything, whatever you want. This week's episode will focus on 2 movies. The phenomenon that happened very recently called Barbenheimer. So both Barbie and Oppenheimer. We'll review both pros and cons, what we liked about the film, and then we'll give a rating at the end, which will be out of 10.
Wow.
Unheard of.
The socially accepted system.
Correct.
Finally.
We really want to make ourselves proper reviewers here, finally, for once.
Give some
taken seriously.
credibility.
Yeah, exactly. Still called Banter Reviews, no doubt. But anyway, we'll start off with the films. We'll go with Barbie first. Both Sarah and I have seen it.
Have you watched any of these films?
Didn't even know it was coming out.
These 2 I can back watching, already watched or will watch. What about you?
I don't think I'll watch Barbie. I'll
Yeah.
be completely frank.
You don't want to watch it?
Negative.
Is there a reason for that?
No reason. I just first, I don't love movies. And I mean, depending on your review, maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah, interesting.
But I have no inclination to go watch it at this. The last movie I saw at the cinemas was Spider-Man, the
animated one.
animated one. That was sick. But I hadn't watched a movie before then for 2 years.
Wow. Okay.
Oppenheimer are you watching?
Again, depends on the review, but I am more
Oppenheimer,
open to
do you
Oppenheimer.
know what Oppenheimer is?
I had to ask Sen who Oppenheimer is and why there was this
The ops.
big the
The Ops. So I plan on watching the movies, and I think there's a strong danger of spoiler alert here, so I will step out.
Oppenheimer's a biopic.
Yeah, let's
Don't
just say
care. No, but also
It's already been spoiled.
I'm also like, bro, I don't know. This is news for me as well. I'm going to take a step out, not get spoiler alerts. Is there going to be spoilers for the listeners at home?
Spoilers. We'll try to be as non-spoiler.
They made a bomb. Is that the spoiler you're after?
There was a bomb?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm going to step out and I'll enjoy the movies, then I'll come back and listen to this segment. So goodbye.
Okay.
All right, so Manny's leaving us now. So it's a 3-man podcast. Fantastic.
Fantastic. Anyway, we're going to begin. Let's start with Barbie first. Sen and I have both seen it. And let's go through the pros, and I'm going to list my first one. And I'm going to think about this in a way that I think other directors, or maybe one certain director will look at this. Feet. There's a whole lot of feet in this film.
In Barbie?
There's a whole lot of feet. So I think if Tarantino's looking at this film, I think he may pass out with just how many there are in this one.
It's not just anyone's feet.
No, it's the feet that he himself has directed before. Margot
Margot's?
Robbie, exactly.
Oh, fantastic.
There is a lot of feet in this one. But I will say one thing. Useful to the plot. Dare I say the feet are narrative driven?
Yeah.
Actually?
They actually
it's a
serve-
central
guy-
plot point.
Exactly.
No way. So this guy has managed to weave feet pics inside a film, but make it relevant?
Exactly. And you
Bravo.
know, it's all the fact that it adds something to the narrative is I think what will drive Tarantino to see this film multiple times. And if someone like Tarantino can watch this film, Sen, that's a pro in my eyes.
True. That's for the everyman then, really, at that point.
Exactly. Sen, do you have a pro for this film?
Mine was rampant consumerism.
As a pro.
As a massive pro. I don't know about you, but it felt like a 2.5 hour long ad.
Beautiful. It was 1 hour 50 minutes, but
Wait, how can this be a pro? I'm so confused.
because business is life. That's what I say. If
Profits are everything, baby.
if you can't make money off this film, then have you succeeded?
Are
know what
you
I mean?
tempted to buy a Barbie and Ken doll after this?
I actually, honestly, if I
Not
could buy-
even just that. Dude, all Mattel products, man. I'm ready to go. Dude, without giving too much away, they show the Mattel headquarters. They show the Mattel board.
Yeah. They even give little hints of potentially a Mattel film. Could you imagine a Hot Wheels film?
That
Would
would
you
be
not
cool.
watch that?
I would watch a Hot Wheels film. Yeah, I would.
Dare I say, because of this consumerism, films these days is all about IP. We've got Barbie. Imagine an Uno film.
Dude, imagine
come on.
Uno film.
Can you imagine? It would be quality.
Mate, this is the real MCU, the Mattel Cinematic Universe, man.
No, Uno is too. I gotta say, Uno is too far.
There was a Uno film that was originally planned as a heist film, but it was scrapped.
I can't tell if
Sorry.
you're taking the piss.
No.
This
I'm being
just seems like a
serious.
joke.
I'm being actually serious. There was a Uno
How
film.
would you?
It was meant to involve everything, like the reverses, the traps, and they were going to implement that into the heist scenario.
Okay.
Like,
For some reason, I'm thinking they're playing Uno.
I thought they were playing Uno.
or like they're trying to steal like some Uno cards that are super spectacular.
well, look, I'd watch. If you guys have seen Casino Royale, that part where they're playing poker, I could watch a 2-hour film of Uno with Daniel Craig just going ham on reverse.
Sure, if they
and
do it
trap
well,
cards.
then it could be good.
Exactly. But consumerism, I agree, Sen. It's everywhere. It's meta. It's everywhere. I'm tempted to buy a Ryan Gosling doll.
There's literally an ad in the movie.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, there is an ad in the movie. Yeah,
That's pretty funny. To buy Barbie?
Yeah.
that's good. It's well worth. So I would agree with that, Sen. I've got another pro here. The patriarchy.
Let's go, the boys.
The patriarchy. And
Patriarchy.
and this one's targeted for my incels on Reddit out there. They are going to love Ryan Gosling's character. They're going to love the Kens. Not going to give too much away spoiler-wise, but let's just say Ken is someone who loves the patriarchy. He loves
becomes obsessed with it.
Yeah, he loves the masculinity.
He's an Andrew Tate type figure.
Oh, he's 20 times that, my friend.
Really? Oh,
yes,
jeez.
this is what Andrew Tate aspires to be.
To be Ken.
To be Ken.
Fair enough.
There's a moment where he's obsessed with horses because he sees that in the real world and it's like, oh, these are horses, you know?
Stallions.
Exactly, and this is meant to be a masculine thing. That's why I just think, you know, the patriarchy here is quality. It's at its best. Ryan Gosling delivers on all aspects of the masculinity part.
He wasn't even acting.
Yeah.
A lot of his actual thoughts.
So yeah, we would say that a none for all the boys out there scrolling Reddit. You're gonna love this.
Chuck
one for
out,
sure.
chuck out Barbie. You got Margot Robbie and a bit of patriarchy. It's a win-win.
It's one for the boys, really, this movie. It's not actually for the girls. Mine is the metaverse. This movie is one, very meta, and two, it's all about different universes and colliding universes. It seems to be the go with every movie you watch these days. It's about, you know, Spider-Man, for example, one that you watched.
Yep.
It's about colliding universes.
People love that.
This is just the same as that. It's a stolen movie idea, really.
Yeah, it's the new blueprint almost for movies. I'm sure you've seen it. Portals are opening.
Yeah. So wait, this is really confusing to me.
Yeah.
Because I'll be completely honest, I did not expect that from a Barbie film.
Dude, I'm pretty sure they said the word quantum or something.
It's interesting. It's something that's coming out of films these days. A lot of things are opening portals. You can go to travel between worlds and universes. You know.
Are you allowed to tell me who the crossover is, or is that a spoiler?
We can tell you off air because I don't want to give it away.
We don't want to give it away. But
So it is actually a legitimate plot
This is
twist.
a sci-fi movie. You know that, right?
No, I did not know this.
it's a sci-fi movie. There's a lot of tropes of the science fiction that are there.
Okay, I'll be completely frank, right? At the moment, you haven't sold me to watch it. These are all pros, but I'm hearing no pros, dare I say.
You don't like incels. You don't like Ryan Gosling being a patriot.
Is it funny? Is it a comedy?
It is.
It's actually quite
That was
funny.
going to be my next pro. It is
Yeah.
The comedy is genuine. You know that people say laugh out loud. I actually laughed out loud in the cinema.
Quite a few
really?
times,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good.
A lot of times. It wasn't just one, and I had a constant stream of just a smile on my face throughout the whole film. There's never a point where it felt dull. There's never a point where I was just sort of like, all right, let's speed it up. You know, 1 hour, 54 minutes feels like 3 hours. Never a point like that. It is hilarious. So if you like a good comedy film,
I do like good comedy, and that honestly, you should have started with that.
yeah. Well, you know,
I thought it went without saying, really.
yeah, it went without saying. You know, we're trying to get the people interested in it. The ones who like feet, the ones who like patriarchy.
Yeah, true.
And I got another pro coming
Go on.
off that.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a clever film. And this is not a spoiler because this was apparently one of the trailers, which I didn't know.
Yeah,
But mate, first minute of the movie, it's a 2001 Space Odyssey parody.
exactly.
It starts off with that.
Bravo, a little callback.
A little
Yeah.
callback, a little nod to Stanley Kubrick.
the
And
cubes.
mate, I'll tell you what, when I went in to watch Barbie, I did not expect that to be in the first
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah. So there's a lot of pros there, but you know, judging by this film seems like a 10 out of 10.
But it's not.
It's
The cons.
not. It's not. The cons. The real world in this is shown kind of odd, bro. You know, you got Barbie Land. It's beautiful. Barbie Land is a beautiful place. I'd love to live in Barbie Land. I'm telling you. A lot of pink, a lot of colors, a lot of flying. The real world is a bit ridiculous, which is kind of weird, given that we live in the real world, bro. The real world is the one that looks fake, the one that everyone kind of is sort of exaggerated. It's odd. But yeah, that's a little con there for you, bro. It's not all perfect. That's what I'm saying. It's not
I've
all-
got another con as well.
Here we go.
Mine is also consumerism. It goes both
Pro
ways.
and con.
Because, like I said, they show the Mattel company. And a lot of those scenes with the Mattel company, I thought, didn't really go anywhere. They tried to make a few jokes, didn't really land with that. And my problem is, and maybe this might be a spoiler, but Will Ferrell is one of the Mattel guys.
Yeah.
And it's not Will Ferrell acting as a Mattel guy. It's Will Ferrell being
As-
Will Ferrell. And I'm like, I don't really need this right now.
Yeah.
Like, I was enjoying the rest of it. I don't need Will Ferrell right now. I thought it was a bit much. It was too much on top of it.
Bro, you're a famous fiend for the comedy films. Do you
I
like
love
Will
comedy.
Ferrell?
I do like Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Then you'll love this movie.
You love, he has some great Will Ferrell moments.
So like how I'm trying to figure this out is like It reminds me of like the internship where it's like an ad for Google essentially, where they show all the offices but they do it tastefully in the internship. Are you saying the consumerism here for Mattel, not so good?
I mean, it's all right. Perhaps it's just too much. It's like they really wanted to be meta and they got sort of lost in that part, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. But I don't know if you've seen the Lego movie or the Truman Show.
Negative. Neither on both, actually.
Okay, well then I was about to say they're very similar to those, but
I'm sure people have seen it, yeah.
yeah. Well, if you like those two, I'll say you like Barbie. But after all that said, I'd happily put Barbie as a 8 out of 10. Good to watch. You'll enjoy it. You'll have laughs. You'll have a great time.
Has that convinced you to watch it, Ro?
Give me your rating.
I'll give it a 7, Ro. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
This seems okay. All right, interesting. It hasn't convinced me to watch it, I'll be completely frank with you. But I mean, it seems like it's a decent film. Like I honestly thought it was going to be a stinker. In my opinion, when I thought what a ridiculous premise for a movie. But if you're giving 7 and 8, and Kush is notoriously a difficult movie, marker.
A Kush 8 is actually quite high.
That's massive. That's in the green zone in the Zorba Smith
Yeah,
reviews.
exactly.
Unbelievable. So, maybe it has. Give us Oppenheimer. What do we reckon?
Oppenheimer. All right, we're going to start with the pros and cons. Sen, have you seen Oppenheimer?
No, sir, this is all you. I'm watching it
Okay.
tomorrow night.
Oppenheimer. Now, Ro, you just learnt about
As our studio falls apart.
a scene that is definitely emulated in Oppenheimer when the bomb drops. I want to ask, Ro, do you know much about Oppenheimer?
No, treat me as if I don't know anything because I don't.
Okay. Well, it's a famous part of our history. They call Oppenheimer as one of the most important people in their history because he developed an atomic bomb, essentially. Dangerous weapon. You know, one would say a dangerous weapon.
He's a popular guy in Japan, though.
So I've heard.
So there's a lot of Nolan's a fiend for the practical effects. And so one of the pros I'm going to talk about is the 4DX experience. And I didn't watch it in 4DX.
I was going to say, did you watch it? Was that available in Australia?
I don't think it's available in Australia, but I truly felt I was watching something.
Explain what 4DX is quickly.
So for those who don't know what 4DX is, they make the cinema experience or the viewing experience slightly immersive. So, if you're watching Avatar, someone dives into the water, you'll be splashed with a bit of water. If there's an explosion, you'll feel the heat.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that. You like a bit of a roller coaster in your movies.
I was in Shrek 4D.
I was about to say the exact same
at the
thing.
Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I watched
Wowee.
that movie for the first time. It was spectacular. Donkey sneezed and water sprayed in my
Water
face.
sprayed in your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, the dragon breathed and fire
Fire.
was there. Oh my goodness. I actually really rated that.
But that was only for 5 minutes. Could you do it for 2.5 hours?
2 hours.
Well, I heard Avatar did a thing in 4D.
Avatar did it
They
for 3 hours.
did, you're right.
Yeah.
I reckon the novelty wears out after
You just
20
be
minutes.
drenched in Avatar.
Yeah.
You actually drown with how much water it is in that film. With Oppenheimer, though, there's no 4DX experience. There's no 4DX showing.
Then
But I still felt it.
that's cool.
When they dropped the bomb, I'm not even joking, the cinema started rattling. And the sound mixing is insane. Where your chest and your heart, you kind of feel the palpitations.
I might go see the doctor about that, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe I should, but it was definitely a scary moment. So Oppenheimer does justice on the bomb blast. I'll say it
Beautiful.
that way. It's a Trinity test, as they call it. Great stuff.
Wait, quick history question. How do they test an atomic bomb?
Well, you'll find out in the movie.
You'll find out in the movie. They
But
just-
essentially, from what my understanding, they literally just went to the middle of nowhere, found a massive desert, and just fucking made
Blew
sure
it
that
up.
there was no one within 100 kilometers.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not.
Oh, wow.
It's not the atomic bomb that gets dropped on what was the place called?
Nagasaki or
Nagasaki,
Hiroshima.
yeah,
But it was
Hiroshima.
one of the prototypes.
Yeah, it was essentially a smaller version, famously called the Trinity test.
Wait, the Trinity test was on Japan.
No. It was in Los Alamos. That was a place, the desert
Gotcha.
place.
How did you think they tested it?
Well, I assume they tested like that,
Yeah.
but I just
Near
didn't,
people.
Yeah, I just didn't think it's like one of those scientific studies. It's like
Yeah.
we'll pay you $100 to
to drop it and feel the 4DX experience.
feel what atomic bomb feels like.
And this leads to my next pro, the CGI, or should I say the lack of CGI. Films these days, bro, I'm sure you would have seen it. It may have even put you off, these superhero films, Fast and Furious
Too
films.
much.
So
Too
much
much.
green screen, right? There's just a lot going on. So Nolan, before this film, said pretty famously, I'm just going to use special effects, not the CGI stuff. So the difference between that is...
Sounds like the exact same thing to me.
It does, right? It
Sounds like
does.
potato, dude.
I mean, it drew a lot of memes with people like Nolan's actually going to create a bomb and drop the bomb somewhere
Yeah.
in Los Alamos in the desert. Which, to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if Nolan did make a bomb and drop it to get the explosion. But essentially, they created effects to mimic an explosion. but not.
Oh, so I actually thought he actually recreated an atomic bomb and dropped it.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised. There's like great, there's great stuff about like the cameraman filming the Trinity test in Oppenheimer, and you just see him sort of melt away because of the bomb. So they have to get a new cameraman to do it. But yeah, it's special effects. For example, like they won't use computer generated graphics for the bomb. What they'll do is like they create like a firework, they'll blow up the firework and do like little camera techniques to mimic the bomb explosion. So it's really interesting.
Honestly, is that interesting? Because
once
to
you see
me,
it-
you just do CGI.
This is a filmmaker's movie, bro.
Yeah, it definitely is. But once you see it, right, I think you'll notice a pretty big difference. It looks fantastic. It really does.
As a layperson, right?
Yeah.
I can see that the CGI is too much, but I know no other alternative.
Yeah.
It looks great.
What do you think is no other alternative? Like, don't you think like you can get a Thanos and like fucking destroy the world?
No, as in like if there's an explosion in the movie, right, and it's
Yeah.
CGI.
Yeah. It's obvious.
To me, that is it. It just looks real to me. Like,
Does it look real?
yeah, because obviously I know that they're not going to actually blow up a town, so it looks like how it would look.
They can though. They can just
can.
build a little town and then blow it up. Did you watch Mad Max? Mad Max.
Mad Max, the
Not the Mexican movie.
No.
Mad Max. Mad Max.
a movie about making a burrito.
Mad Max. Sorry, Mad Max.
Never-
The
no, I
latest
didn't watch
one.
that, no.
Oh,
I
'cause
think
that was
you'd
all.
enjoy that, bro. I think you'd really enjoy that one.
Because that was all like car crashes, and they actually fucking crashed the cars
and
together.
you also there's a
That was
difference
all-
you can tell.
Yeah, it looks sick.
This is the thing. Once
Okay.
you see the explosion in Oppenheimer, it looks terrifying. It really does. And like another pro, I've got to say this: the man himself, Cillian Murphy, or Cillian, however you want to pronounce his name. Those of you seen Peaky
Cillian for
Blinders,
me, yeah.
Cillian,
Yeah, that's
he
how I
really
say
do be
it.
Like a
chill like that.
Chilean,
Chilean Murphy.
Chilean Murphy
Yeah, stars also in Mad Max.
with his brother Eddie.
It's his performance is great, so do watch it for him. I will drop one quick con here is that Nolan and his female characters, they still exist. He treats them as like objects, unfortunately.
What?
Famous.
Famous thing for Christopher Nolan. If you've seen Interstellar,
Yeah.
Dunkirk, Inception, Tenet, even for example, his female characters are either non-existent or
Or
the
they're-
wives are dead to exude some sort of trauma for the main character,
True, yeah.
or they're just plot devices, which still remains the same here, unfortunately, for Oppenheimer's wife. But
But this is based off a true story. Like,
exactly. And
so is he allowed to do that? I
Well,
think
that's
he is,
the
maybe.
thing. Yeah, he focuses on Oppenheimer, as he should. The film is called Oppenheimer. So it's not called Oppenheimer's wife,
Yeah.
but she does play a big part in Oppenheimer's.
Okay. And he doesn't reflect. He doesn't reflect that.
He doesn't really reflect that. Yeah, he doesn't really reflect
Why is he like that?
I just don't think he understands women, to be honest. Like, I'll be
Does he have a
completely honest.
wife?
Yeah, he does have a wife. He does have a wife.
So
which-
he understands enough to marry one, but
there's that great meme where it's like his wife, Nolan's wife, watching all his films, and the wives are always dead. Like Inception, Dark
Yeah.
Knight, they're always dead. So it's like, gotta check yourself out, man. Chris Nolan's wife. I
rating?
did, yeah, the rating for this, I would say 9.5, bro.
Wow.
Almost perfection. This is Nolan's best film, I would say.
So you're saying the only thing that brought it down was the lack of female representation? That doesn't
Which for
sound like
Ro?
you.
That's a pro.
I wouldn't say female representation. I would just say
Female
actual
focus.
Female focus, or actual. Give me a character. You know, give me the character.
This is his best film. Better than Dark Knight.
I don't think Dark Knight's his best film. I think Dunkirk is his best film, but I would say it's up there with Dunkirk. So
Better than Dunkirk?
depends on my mood. I can't say that, unfortunately. But you know, we always talk about the similarities between the films. I did see this one. Someone was like, I don't know if you know this, but Ro, do you know any similarity between Oppenheimer and Barbie at all in the contents?
Is there
storytelling?
supposed to be?
Well, one person pointed out that products both launched in Japan. So
So bad.
that I was like, but hey, I mean, maybe that's why Barbenheimer is so
That's
big
so
right
good.
now.
Well, no, I want to talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second.
The phenomenon,
Barbenheimer. Watching both the movies back to back on the same day.
which I did.
Which
do
you
that.
did.
Yeah.
And you took a whole day off work for it.
I left work early.
It's outrageous, honestly.
Did you tell work you were doing this?
I did. I told my boss I'm going to go watch Barbie. I'm leaving at 3:30.
So what time was the first movie at?
Barbie was at 4:20, and then I had an hour break for dinner, and then Oppenheimer started at 7:30, finished around 10:50.
Did the film, like the movie cinema, offer the back-to-back?
Yes. Yeah.
And there was like a dedicated dinner break for you guys to do?
It wasn't like you buy these two for one. It was like they were designed so that you could take a break in between and watch both.
Did that enhance the experience, you reckon? Or would you prefer to watch them on separate days?
Too much, man.
Is it, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is it too much?
I actually thought it wasn't because they're so vastly different and they're both exceptional films. They're both great. So like why would it be too much if they're both great? You know what I mean?
Is there any other like movies that have been released on the same day?
Yeah, similar thing. I don't think it's been a while.
I think this one's been like exaggerated. Not exaggerated.
Why
but,
is
like,
this one exaggerated? Because like honestly, like why is Barbie getting all this? I understand Oppenheimer, right?
Yeah.
Seems like a really like interesting film, blah blah blah. But Barbie seems like
They must have
just a
spent
novelty.
so much on their marketing.
Barbie spent a lot on them. There was I don't know if you heard, there was a national-wide pink shortage because of Barbie. They were using pink so much.
Dude, everyone in the cinema last night was dressed in pink.
Yeah.
Every single person.
And it's like, and the thing is, like, the thing I don't like about it, right? And not to be negative,
Yeah.
but like, whatever. You're a 25-year-old male watching Barbie, all right? Like,
All right.
Whoa.
Okay, all right.
as are you both,
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't wear pink, did you?
No, I didn't.
I mean,
wear
fair
pink.
play. I mean, you may as well get around it if you do.
But I
like,
did dress up as a really masculine man who doesn't like feminism because of Ken.
So you just did your normal stuff.
Yeah, shut up. It's a joke.
I see what you're trying to get at.
But like, who are these people? Like, I can understand if you're like watching it ironically, like, you know, Despicable Me when everyone was wearing suits and stuff like that. like,
Yeah, that was funny. Minions.
yeah, like
Minions, the
that was
Minions movie,
entertaining.
that's
Like
right, yeah.
people are genuinely going, and I mean, fair enough. It's an 8 out of 10 film, so
Yeah.
apparently it's good. But I don't think it deserved to get the hype that it did.
Dude, there was a lot of children as well watching this movie, and I don't think this movie is appropriate for kids. Like, I'm talking literal, like, 6, 7-year-olds.
It's a really deep film. Like it actually goes into like full, no, I'm not.
Dude, it's
I'm not even
existential.
joking.
It's existential.
It dead set is very.
But is it
existential.
appropriate? I think.
Dude, I
kids
feel like
can-
we've described Barbie in like 7 different ways right now. You'll be like, how is this movie? But it is.
But dare I say that is Barbie? It's an
It was
experience.
a, it was a fever dream, bro.
Yeah, it really was.
There's fight scenes, dance numbers, mate.
The musical performances are great. Seeing
Like,
Ryan
yeah.
Gosling dance, exceptional.
more pros. Wow. Okay. You know what? I will watch Oppenheimer
I think it,
and I'll try Barbie.
I think you should. It's at least worth a watch.
It's worth watching both. You can do it on separate days. You don't have to do it back to back.
no, I don't
of
want to do it
course.
back to back.
Yeah.
No way. But like, if you say it's out of 10, yeah, I'll give it a go.
The thing
I'm
is,
open.
you asked like why do they get released on the same day? The one thing that started because all of Nolan's films previously, I don't know if you know this, but he was with Warner Brothers, and so then he left Warner Brothers.
I definitely don't know this.
Okay, he left them. He left Warner Brothers and he went to Universal, who made Oppenheimer, and then Warner Brothers were like, "Well, we're making Barbie," and they released the Oppenheimer date first,
Still competition.
and then they were like, "All right,
Beef back at Nolan for leaving.
Let's go, Nolan. Let's do it."
Who do you think's gonna win?
Obviously, Barbie.
Is that because there's a sports bet market right now? Who's going to get the bigger box office?
You know what? I'll say there's an underdog there who's going to beat both of them overall.
Who?
Mission Impossible 7. Tommy
Is
Cruise.
that an underdog though?
Dude, I heard that was a crazy movie.
That was unreal. If we wanted to add that, that was the one that I enjoyed the most out of all three.
Really?
What do you rate that one?
That one I gave it a 9, but like I enjoyed it more than Oppenheimer.
Do I need to watch the other ones to watch
Yes,
that one?
it's the 7th installment. out
Dude,
of the
Tom
series.
Cruise is I'm gonna say, man, the guy is an absolute maniac.
He's a maniac.
He
and
just
a-
pumps out good films one after the other. Mission Impossible, I love Mission Impossible. What a
then
great
you're gonna
series.
love the 7th one, bro.
But I didn't watch like Mission Impossible like 4 to 6 to be
Well,
honest.
those are the best. Well, those are the best ones.
Actually?
Yeah, 7th just fits right in between there. It's class.
Okay, well, we're getting off track here, but
Yeah.
I'll actually check it out. I have nothing against Barbie, but it's just like, dude, how is this even a
Look,
film?
both are successful. Barbie has beaten all the other superhero films in terms of box office. So it's great, day one, the domestic one. And Oppenheimer's the most for Christopher Nolan. So it's a win-win.
Bang.
Exactly. There you go. Enjoy it and watch both films, I say.